What's up, good folks? Willie Lee, HM. I want to give y'all my 5 HM thoughts on this unfortunate Frisco stabbing. So you got Carmelo Anthony and you got Austin Metcalf. And yo, crazy time for the basketball player Carmelo Anthony. You know what I'm saying? He going ready to go into the Hall of Fame. And you got this high profile, racially divisive stabbing and murder that took place, or deletion that took place, right? So we're going to get into it. First thing I want to say, like my first thought on it was, where were the adults? Like, where were the adults here that could have prevented this, that could have intervened so that young Austin didn't have to try to play the hero, right? And make somebody forcibly removed from a seating spot, right? This is a seating dispute. Number two, I like to look at it like both of these kids could have been my son, meaning Carmelo bringing a weapon in your backpack to a sporting event for the school, right? Sitting in the area that is under the tent of somebody else. Unfortunate seating dispute takes place. Somebody try to get you out that seat. Now you take out said weapon, plunge it into their chest, run to the authorities. I did it. It was me. Is he okay? Right? Very unfortunate. On the opposite end, could have been my son Austin, trying to play the hero out here when you should be minding your own business or alerting the adults that should have been around, right? Unfortunately, this is not a lesson I could teach my son, who would be Austin, after he is deleted, right? But if he would have just took an whooping, got beat up, or him and the boy engaged in some fisticuffs, and no matter who won, I could then sit down with my son Austin and say, hey, nobody likes a male Karen. Which brings us to part 3. Male Karens are not heroes. See, the female Karens, they get a certain level of grace, being that they are women, and they will also not look to physically intervene more so than alert the authorities. A male Karen a bit different. See, the male Karen, he gonna put himself in a position where he unfortunately can be physical. Like a physical altercation could ensue. One of the big things with males is we understand that underneath every argument or interaction or altercation, there's a underlying possibility of violence. This unfortunately did not go his way, and this happens to many a male Karen who find themselves trying to play the hero, tell somebody to do something outside of their jurisdiction of ability, right? Like it's not your place to tell somebody where they can and cannot see, even under a tent that's for your school. That's not your spot. That's being a male Karen, and it can lead to the untimely and unfortunate demise of yourself. Please teach your children not to be male Karens, right? Number 4, looking at it from the Carmelo side, like, bro, like, if there's a physical altercation, why not run the fade or walk away? See, run the fade or walk away. Like, we can fight it out about it, or I'm going to de-escalate, let cooler heads prevail, and I'm just going to move around. Which you have still been so quick, antsy, and feisty if you did not have that weapon on you. See, really think about that. If you did not have a weapon, would you still be willing to touch me and see what happens? The fact that you had a weapon and only you knew you had the weapon gave you a little more boisterous spirit. But why couldn't you just run the fade or walk away? And then I got to go with my 5th thought, which is punishment for murder in defense. See, I don't think our society really has a way of dealing with murder in defense. Yeah, like we understand murder in the event that my life is in bodily danger and I have to kill or be killed. But what about murder if you should not have placed your hands on me? I warned you, don't place your hands on me. You put your hands on me. Now you just got deleted. What do we do with such a circumstance? You tell me. And the last one, this is a bonus one. My last one is a Nelson Mandela quote that has always stood with me. Where you stand depends on where you sit. Where you stand depends on where you sit. Like the stance you take on an issue depends very much so on the perspective to which you are viewing it from, right? So I'm seeing a lot, like if you are a quote unquote black person, you're siding with Carmelo. If you are a quote unquote white person, you're siding with Austin. And what gets lost in it is being objective to both sides, like showing empathy for both sides, right? So if you are black, a lot of the rhetoric that you're spewing right now is Austin was a bully, and things like such, which could be unfair because there's no evidence that he was a bully. If you're white, a lot of the rhetoric that you're spewing right now is they're using donation funds, enriching themselves off deleting somebody, buying houses, buying vehicles, things like such, which could not be the case. You don't know that. You're spewing off of emotion and looking at it from a racial lens. When if you look at it objectively and look at it like both these young men could have been your son, I think you would have a lot more empathy. So that's my thoughts on it. What's your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comment below. Hey, I love to smoke with anybody on this. If you want to run a fade on this, we can talk about it. We can challenge on a live. We can talk about it in the comment section. You tell me. But HM, Willie Lee HM thoughts, like, follow, share, subscribe.